Welcome back to Hello Africa broadcast channel.
Far from the fields of conflict, Ethiopian opposition groups gather in Washington, D.C. 9 groups sign an agreement to work together with the expressed intention of removing the Ethiopian government by negotiation or force.
The members of the Security Council expressed deep concern about the expansion and intensification of military clashes.
Ethiopia stands at a crossroads, caught in the grip of internal conflict and external pressures that have left its people and the international community grappling with confusion and suspicion. In November 2021, as the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, advanced toward Addis Ababa, the U.S. Embassy issued an urgent warning for its citizens to leave the country, mirroring the Ethiopian government's own declaration of a state of emergency. The embassy's decision to restrict staff movement and its repeated advisories in subsequent years, most recently in April 2025, warning of spontaneous demonstrations and violence, have underscored the persistent instability gripping the nation. These alerts, often accompanied by reports of atrocities and mass displacement in Tigray, Oromia, and Amhara, have not only heightened anxiety among Ethiopians, but also fueled debates about the true nature of the threats and the role of foreign actors. The sense of confusion is compounded by the Ethiopian government's accusations that the U.S. is exaggerating the situation and spreading terrorist propaganda. Statements from the U.S. ambassador, criticized by Ethiopia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs as unsolicited advice, have further strained relations and deepened suspicions among the public. Many Ethiopians now question whether the U.S. is acting out of genuine concern or is, intentionally or not, helping to shape the conflict's trajectory. This skepticism is heightened by the complex web of alliances forming within Ethiopia itself. The emergence of a new opposition coalition, uniting the Fano militia, the Oromo Liberation Army, OLA, and the TPLF, marks a dramatic shift from past rivalries and signals a new era of pragmatic, if uneasy, partnerships aimed at challenging Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's government. The internal realignment is only part of the story. Activists, both within Ethiopia and abroad, play a dual role, sometimes pushing for reform, at other times amplifying external agendas that may not align with national interests. Meanwhile, regional powers like Eritrea and Egypt are rumored to be quietly supporting various opposition elements, each pursuing their own strategic interests. Eritrea, once a fierce adversary of the TPLF, is now recalibrating its approach, while Egypt, locked in a dispute with Ethiopia over the Nile and the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, is widely believed to back any movement that could weaken Addis Ababa's hand in future negotiations. Against this backdrop, the U.S. Embassy's calls for dialogue and peaceful resolution are interpreted by some as tacit support for regime change, especially given the backdrop of Western sanctions, diplomatic pressure, and alleged secret meetings with opposition leaders. The convergence of these internal and external forces has created a volatile environment where the line between caution and intervention is increasingly blurred. The growing opposition alliance, bolstered by potential foreign support and perceived encouragement from the U.S., poses a formidable challenge to the government and raises the stakes for the entire region. As violence continues and civilians bear the brunt of the crisis, the Ethiopian public is left questioning the motives behind foreign involvement and the prospects for peace. Will these unlikely alliances hold, or will old rivalries resurface? How far will foreign actors go in shaping Ethiopia's future? And, ultimately, what does this mean for peace and stability in the Horn of Africa? These unanswered questions linger, leaving Ethiopians and observers alike to wonder who truly leads the narrative, and what is really happening behind the headlines. Ethiopia's is in complex power game unlikely alliances, foreign hands, and to be the battleground in the Horn. Ethiopia is once again at the epicenter of a high-stakes political gambling, as shifting alliances and external influences redraw the map of power in the Horn of Africa. The country's latest opposition coalition, uniting the Fano militia, the Oromo Liberation Army, OLA, and the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, marks a striking departure from past rivalries and signals a new era of pragmatic, if uneasy, partnerships. The Fano militia, rooted in the Amhara region, has surged in prominence following recent clashes with federal forces. Their decision to join forces with the OLA and TPLF, groups that have not only fought the government but also each other, highlights the gravity of their shared goal: the ouster of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. For the government, this coalition is nothing short of an existential threat, with officials warning of renewed ethnic violence and destabilization. Yet, the internal dynamics are only part of the story. The role of activists, some entrenched in traditional patterns of criticism, others occasionally advocating for genuine reform, adds further complexity. While activism can be a force for positive change, it often becomes entangled in external agendas, sometimes even aligning with rivals against national interests. On the international stage, the intrigue deepens. Eritrea, once a bitter enemy of the TPLF, is now more than rumored to be quietly supporting various opposition elements, recalibrating its strategy in the region. Egypt, perpetually at odds with Ethiopia over the Nile's waters, and the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, Djibouti, is widely believed to back any movement that could weaken Addis Ababa, hoping to tilt future negotiations in its favor. Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy in Addis Ababa maintains a public stance of neutrality, calling for dialogue and an end to hostilities. However, many Ethiopians see this as tacit encouragement for regime change, especially in light of Western sanctions, diplomatic pressure, and reports of secret meetings with opposition leaders. The convergence of these internal and external forces has created a volatile and unpredictable environment. The ever-expanding opposition alliance, now drawing in Fano, OLA, TPLF, and potentially others, poses a formidable challenge to the government. With support, overt or covert, from Eritrea, Egypt, and perceived encouragement from the U.S., the stakes have never been higher. Listeners and observers should watch closely. Will these unlikely alliances hold, or will old rivalries resurface? How far will foreign actors go in shaping Ethiopia's future? And most crucially, what does this mean for peace and stability in the broader Horn of Africa? The answers will not only determine Ethiopia's trajectory, but could reshape the entire regional politics. Dear viewers, if you like this video, please subscribe to our Hello Africa YouTube channel to get more known and unknown facts about Africa. Thank you.